I think we're ready to call this meeting to order.
Good morning. My name is Catherine Smith, and I'm the Monroe County Treasurer, and I'm going to be working with the commissioners to organize our Monroe County Board of Finance for the year 2025.
Number 2, I'm going to move approval of the minutes for the annual meeting of January 31st, 2024, and the supplemental meeting of April 24th, 2024.
Second.
Or not call the roll, but ask for a vote, voice vote.
I would like to call for a vote on this, on approving the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And that is unanimous. Now I would like to bring a motion for the election of officers for the 2024 Board of Finance.
That Commissioner Madeira be president or chair, whichever it is.
I second.
Kathy Smith as
As a secretary,
secretary. Thank you.
I second that as well.
Thank you.
So we have a motion to also make Treasurer Kathy Smith the secretary. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That was unanimous. We now have a motion to hear the presentation of Monroe County's Public Funds Investment Management Policy for 2025.
I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to put this on the floor, a presentation of Monroe County's Public Funds Investment Management Policy for 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Ready for oh, you want to vote on?
We don't vote yet.
Oh, perfect.
Ready
Sorry.
for discussion?
Yes.
Okay, so the investment policy is really created by all three commissioners and the county treasurer together working as the Board of Finance. It doesn't really change very much year to year. During Jessica McClone's term as treasurer, she did add United States securities, which we still have some because they have not timed out yet. However, those are long-term investments, usually 5 years, and I do not like to do any investments past 2 years, even though the policy says we can do that for securities. The rest, for the other investments, we have a limit of 2 years statutorily. But last year, if you remember, those of you that were here, Jeff and I worked with FSG, our financial consultants, and we agreed that it's just by the time you buy them, they're not liquid, and the investment policy clearly says the order that we do things in, which is first safety, second liquidity, and third return. And so we really want to stick with shorter term investments that are liquid, that are obviously the safest we could possibly stick with. So I try to make sure that things are spread out among banks so that they're insured. We are federally insured, of course, as well as state insured through the Revenue Department. They have the public funds investment insurance at the state level. So we're doubly insured in most things if we keep it spread out pretty well. As we move forward, and we'll talk about this in a second, the securities will go away, and it will all be in pretty much cash that we will invest in different methods, money markets and CDs and high yield savings accounts and things like that. When I'm not treasurer and somebody else becomes treasurer, they may want to use the other authorized investments. So I left the United States Treasury instruments on here in case that's something they want to do, because I hate to ask you guys to remove those and then somebody else want them and they have to be added back. So on number 9 talks about the final maturity and how they can't be longer than 5 years long. Nothing can be longer than 5 years. However, when I'm treasurer, I would like to keep things under 2 years. First of all, our terms are only 4 years. So if anything I would buy later in the term, I wouldn't want it to go much into somebody else's term as treasurer. So that's the investment policy. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Are there any questions?
No.
I don't have any. We would like to now open this matter for public comment since there's no further discussion. Are there any members of the public in person or remotely who would like to offer public comment? If so, raise your hand on Teams or come to the podium. See none. We would like to close the public comment period.
Go ahead and vote. Yeah.
And it is time to bring this matter to a vote. So there is a motion to approve the presentation. There is a motion to approve Monroe County's public funds investment management policy for 2025. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This motion passes unanimously. We will now hear the presentation of the 2024 investment report.
Good job.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So I would like to introduce you to our investment team. So if you guys can come up here. So our department has 4 members. Half of the members are standing here. They're the ones who work with cash management. We have Kyle Sturgeon, who is the cash book ledger manager, and he's been here for quite a long time. Started out in the auditor's office and has just been a member of our team. Then we have Bridget Devitt, and she is our banking manager, financial banking manager, and she basically manages every single account. As you're going to see, we have many, many accounts. But they're a very fine team, and I really enjoy working with them, and they work very, very well together. And like with the computers being down and stuff and us not being able to get in, we just scrambled and we did what we could because we're a team and we care about each other and work well together. And what that does is make it easier for other departments, including the auditor's office, to work with us. And so it just seems like it's a kinder, gentler, courthouse and finance team now. So I just love that. So we want to move into the actual presentation. And as you'll see, you have 2 sheets of paper. One has investment report, and the other is a pie chart. So we're going to really do 5, 6, and 7 kind of together. So 5 is the investment report, which is what you see here. It shows where all of our money is at and how much money is in each category for bank statements dated last year, including the interest. And we, for general fund interest, we received $8.7 million, and there was some interest for those bond expenses that you see down there, but they go back into the bonds, and they do not go in the general funds. You can see exactly how they're divided out and exactly which bank they're in. FFB is First Financial Bank. GAB is German American Bank. JCB is Jackson County Bank. TI is Trust Indiana. And NYM is Bank of New York Mellon, and ONB is Old National Bank. All of our bonds are in Old National Bank, and our securities are in the Bank of New York Mellon. And of those, there are savings accounts, securities, and mutual funds. German American Bank has 2 CDs totaling $17.4 million, and JC Bank we had a CD there. We got a better rate at German American, so that $7 million got moved to German American, although that JC Bank did produce $566,547.95, which was a good chunk. We have money market also at German American. We have over 11 million in it. And then the hybrid funds analysis are different checking accounts for different areas inside our different departments. For instance, we partition out money for the assessors, and that shows how much is on deposit for those groups. The money market from First Financial Bank is just a major savings account. You'll see it generated almost $3.5 million last year. And public funds analysis checking, that's the Bank 5, and bank is our credit card money, and that's credit cards that come in from tax payments only. That's not credit cards where we purchase anything on. That's people paying with credit cards, and it comes into that account. You'll see, as of the last day of the year, there was $160,000 in it. Once those clear, and it takes some time for that to clear, it gets swept into our savings account. The payroll sweep account is FFB Bank number 2, and we have a net zero payroll sweep account. So if payroll costs $2 million, it sweeps $2 million out of Bank 1, which is our hybrid master checking account, and uses that, pays that payroll, and then goes back to zero. And again, this is a team that manages those numbers. The county operating account is the hybrid master for all these First Financial Bank accounts, and it has as of the end of the year, it had $5 million in it and paid an interest of almost $1 million. So the important thing is to watch the money every single day, and as it changes and fluctuates, make sure we're putting it into the account that gets the highest interest. And all of our accounts get over 4%, and some get over 5%. And what Bridget does is she prepares this for me every morning with early morning bank numbers. Like today, in the First Financial operating account, we had $8,091,000, and in the First Financial savings account, we had $56,367,000. And the credit card account, we had $412,482, because somebody could have made a $200,000 tax payment yesterday on their credit card. Trust Indiana current today pays an interest of 4.3866% and has $53,269,000 in it. And I did bring the root documents of all the banks right here, so that if you'd like to see the root documents of the bank accounts for the end of the year, you have them here. And one of the interesting thing is, if you look at Trust Indiana, you can see at the beginning of the year, last year, on 1/1/2024, we were making 5.4258% interest. That was really good interest. And so every day when that money gets, they pay daily, so it's got all 365-day rates in there. And at the end of the year, on the last day of the year, they were paying 4.4682. And now you see, as of today, it's down to 4.38. So still searching to make sure we get the most interest, because that populates our general fund and helps fund all county operations. So where do we invest the money? The money, and this goes into number 6 on that list, the public funds investment sheet is inside your agenda. Those are all the banks that we are allowed to invest in. I did have, and it has to be vetted through the state, and I did get some local banks, Crane and IU Credit Union, added to that list so that we could use them. And you probably know this already, but I will tell you, credit unions tend to pay higher interest rates. Now, traditional banks have all the taxes, the financial institution tax that comes back to the county. So I try to invest as much locally, and I really want to invest 100% of our money locally, so that we get that money back in financial institution tax, and it doesn't get paid to another state or another county. The seventh thing on that list, is the current cash on hand. That's what I was explaining to you. There is also a pie chart that shows graphically where our money's at. You can see the big orange slice and the big blue slice are money market investments. And obviously, when you add those two together, quite a large percentage of our money is in very safe, very high yield interest. And then, of course, our CDs pay good interest. The only thing that we have that's not really paying that great interest is leftover older bonds that are the securities, and we have 2 coming due in the next 30 days. One comes due tomorrow at $1 million. One comes due on the 28th of February for $500,000. And then, other than that, we'll have $6 million in securities, and some pays as low as just 1/3 of 1%. But those will age out. Most of the stuff ages out in 26. We have one thing that ages out in December of 25. And then even those securities, the remaining securities after that, of that 14.5 million that you see, 1.5 million will come out next month, between now and next month. Then this 6 million will come out in the next, we'll say 18 months. Then it will all be 3% and 4% interest. So I'll feel much more comfortable about that. The last thing on the list is expiration of warrants, and I'm very pleased and very, very pleased with the Auditor and Treasurer's Office. You have a copy of it. We only have this year, and this is the lowest in the 20-some years I've been here, $508 of expired checks. So that credits this team and the auditor's team with identifying the people who have not cashed checks and getting them cashed. That's pretty much my presentation. The last few things didn't really need votes. They were just more information-based.
Thank you so very much. Does anyone have any questions?
No.
I do not either. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Move to adjourn? Oh, what?
Approved depository list does require a vote
Oh, does
of
it?
the board.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve the depository list as presented.
I second that motion. In favor?
Aye.
That motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Now I move to adjourn.
Now we're moving to close? And that's you move that?
I move to adjourn.
You did, okay. I gotta write this down, so. And Jody, did you second?
Yes.
Did we vote?
And all in favor of, do we have to vote on that?
Nope.
Perfect. All right. I get to ask all the newbie questions.